Good morning, everyone. This is Nicole Ali. I'm back, and I wanted to quickly discuss some of Lisa Cabrera's previous video where a black man is suing Monsanto for causing his cancer. So, the lawyer in the video, as we know, lawyers are usually paid to be dishonest. But some of the things he spoke about actually led me to want to look up more. And I think he actually misspoke when he stated that there were studies done on glyphosate being the active ingredient in Roundup, Roundup being a herbicide, pesticide produced by Monsanto. He mentioned that they had done epidemiological studies in South America, but he misspoke and said South Africa. So even though he is trying his best to represent this black man and others, I believe in a class action lawsuit against Monsanto, there are times when they will speak honestly and try to retract, and say something differently. So the South African studies were done prior to the South American studies. And he was attempting to speak to more recent studies to garner more support. I believe that's what he was doing. Now, he's not a scientist, so of course, when he was speaking about statistically significant studies that have been done through epidemiology, toxicology, and mechanisms, he was stumbling over his words, but I believe he started stumbling over his words after he said South Africa, if you noticed in the video. And I'll put a link to her video in the description box. But if you just Google Monsanto South Africa, you get a lot of links here. You even get locations in Sandton, South Africa, Brits, South Africa, and Lichtenberg, South Africa, where Monsanto does business. So that's not a secret. That's out there. Now, another thing I will look up is a website called NCBI. As you can see, it's in purple. I've gone there several times here on my phone. It's called the National Center for Biotechnology Information. This is a very critical website that most scientists and lawyers use through to determine how much research is done on a particular topic. And on that website, they have several links here. You have PubMed, nucleotide. You can do a nucleotide analysis, peptide analysis. You can blast different genetic sequences and determine how similar they are, or if you can make primers to do PCR analysis on these genes. So I'm going to click the PubMed link they have here, and I'm going to search Monsanto, just like I did earlier in Google, Monsanto South Africa, and see what I get from there. So here we go. There are 5 studies represented here from PubMed directly, indicating that there is studies specifically on maize being done, or have been done. And if they have it published in 2016, believe me, they're still doing work there. Because as I just showed you, Monsanto has locations in South Africa where they do business. And that's the bottom line. The bottom line is for them to make money, right? So another way you can search this, and this is not just for me to run my mouth and talk about Monsanto. This is a way for you to start converging information from someone like Lisa Cabrera and myself from a science perspective, to start learning about all the different things that are happening around you. So when you go through NCBI directly, you get a website like this when you search Monsanto South Africa. You get the bookshelf. There's books and reports that have been done. There's nothing for the indexing, the medical indexing that they do. There's only one on the NLM catalog PubMed has 5 results, scientific and medical abstracts and citations. PubMed Central, you have 181 full-text journal articles. These are peer-reviewed articles that are conducted by medical institutions, science institutions, international cancer institutions, as he spoke of in the video. Lastly, you have PubMed Health, which has 949 clinical effectiveness, disease, and drug reports. So when you just type in Monsanto, South Africa, you have 20 databases that have been found related to those 3 words. So you have the gene analysis, 38,000, more than 38,000 for gene. The genomic studies, 37. Unigene, where they talk about different clusters of expressed transcripts and mRNA. The genetics, you see all these different results that come up. So I don't think he misspoke. He knew what he was saying when he said it. And he quickly, I believe, said South America because those are more recent studies. As I just showed you, those studies in South Africa were from 2016. The ones they're conducting right now have not been published just yet. So if we go to PubMed, I usually go with the one that has the least number of abstracts because it's just easier for me to sift through. So we go to PubMed, we see those same 5 studies that were done on maize. And let's see, let's go back. Let's go to PubMed Central, which is a central hub for all the articles related to Africa, South Africa, Monsanto, anything that had the word Monsanto or glyphosate or herbicide or pesticide in it, or agriculture or anything like that, it would be in this list. You can change how you want to display. Right now there's 20 per page, so you can change the display. I'm going to do 100 per page. And I'm also going to change the display settings so that it says, let's see, 100 per page. And let's do, okay, it's done by publication date. So it'll be the earliest to the latest. So here's the earliest one they have, the latest one, excuse me. The latest one is March to April 2018, published online April 18th, 2018. So a couple months ago. The next one, it says March 17th, 2018. So if we just go with the first article in the list, it says Natural History of Plasmodium odocoliae, Malaria Infection in Farm White-tailed Deer. Okay. They come down, they talk about crop ideotypes to address food security. That looks interesting. So I'm going to click on that. This is a way I'm showing you how to look at their articles and to see what they're putting out there. I don't care what they put on the news, because if you notice, they cut him off when he was trying to make another statement. She was running out of time when he was talking about some of these studies that were done. It was like, okay, yeah. She just kind of rushed past him. And this is something they do a lot on television. They do not want to put the truth out there, especially when it's a lawyer. They expect them to lie about everything, because that's the reputation that they have, and they'll have to deal with that on their own, to reassign that reputation that they have garnered. But you have to search for these things. They're not going to put them on the news. That's my point. So if you go here, you see a page like this. And of course, if you have a your computer or whatnot, it's going to be wide like this, of course. So if you don't want to look at it this way, because it's kind of difficult to look at all these words and you'd rather do a PDF, click PDF. It'll download the PDF for you. Here it comes. And it says special article. When you see something that says special article or review article, just be ready to have a lot of references. Okay, and I can go ahead and search for the word references, and you can see how many references they have. Okay, it just keeps going and going. and going. They have 107 references. Okay, so that kind of tells you right there that this paper, not only is it a special report, but it has a lot of important information in here. So what they did in this article was to use computational modeling combined with advanced visualization to develop strategies for the design of crop ideotypes to address food security. So they're always talking about starvation and famine when they're the ones that cause the starvation and famine. And now they're trying to determine how they can get a sustainable crop production through corn. And they're using big data, metadata analysis to do this. They talk about United Nations World Food Summit in 1996 and all the issues they had with famine around the world and what they wanted to do to address this issue. They also talk about climate models. They talk about goals that they have for the project. And this is a nutrition article, this nutrition review. So this is a article that's going to be addressing nutrition, supposedly. However, when you actually read through it, you don't really see a lot about nutrition. You see more about science and crop research that was done. The modeling software. So since this word Monsanto is in a table, sometimes it won't let you search words in tables. I've noticed that. But you see the word Monsanto. Field scripts by Monsanto. Description. Analysis of field data trends to provide planting advice by Saikuda in 2016. That was the reference. You can go to that reference at your leisure. They talk about maize, wheat, BioCro, and the Chinese Academy of Sciences 3D rice model. So they have all these different models for the main grains that would support life, that has been supporting life for a very long time on this planet and all over the world. They also have work that they've done at other institutions, UC Davis, irrigation technology that they've developed. So they go through